nutrients in the soil. We talked about that.
Plants need more space than I thought they had. Soil could be used in lots of different ways.
That was one of the few times I was able to feel proud of something I did in science.
Nourishing the Planet in the 21st Century was a great curriculum for my students and I. This program was designed specifically for younger students, 3rd and 4th graders, and it laid the foundation for the basics of plant biology. Everybody in the classroom was engaged. They were very involved in the projects, which were almost all hands-on. They loved the lessons and they loved the planting, and it was very interactive, and they just had a lot of fun. The first lesson in the curriculum was about sorting. The students were asked to categorize a number of plant materials into different groups, and they did that with fruits, vegetables, grains, and some pictures as well. This gave them the opportunity to think about the plants that are in the environment and what groups they fit into on the larger scale.
We planted radishes and carrots. I liked to watch them grow and collected how much they grew over each day.
The second part of the first lesson was planting, and the kids got the opportunity to plant their own garden.
Why do plants need all of this stuff to survive?
So the next portion of the curriculum was all about soil and learning about what soil is, what's in soil, how it separates out.
There were more nutrients in potting soil than local soil.
As they separated the soil and figured out where the different layers were, figured out where the components were. And through this, I think they really learned about the components of soil and what's important about those components in a very hands-on way. They first witnessed 3 bottles. One had potting soil, one had sand, and the other had typical local soil. And they were able to see how those layers separated, with the nutrients floating to the top and the more dense materials like rock coming to the bottom.
Potting soil absorbs more water than backyard soil and sand.
It was a very clear visual for them to understand those things and to begin to see the components in the soil. The kids learned about how plants take in water and nutrients through their roots.
I learned how plants grow and how they absorb their water.
And the kids were able to see this through a lesson with carnations and celery, where they would mix some food coloring into water and then insert the carnation and the celery into the cup. And what a great way to show them this visual and how nutrients get through the plant stem into the leaves.
A plant really can't grow without it.
Nutrients is just a substance that plants and animals need to live.
It just can't survive. It makes it grow green, tall.
In the next part of the lesson, they really were able to see that interaction and maybe better understand how the nutrients would come up to the top of the plant.
I looked and saw how much each absorb nutrients in the soil and how that could affect how plants grow.
This gave them a great graphic of phosphorus and things like that, you know, and how the plants are depleted of those materials, and then farmers would put fertilizer in, you know, that kind of thing. Francesca, who often does use fertilizers?
Farmers and people
use fertilizer.
need their plants to grow healthy.
You have to make sure they're healthy, right? The final lesson of the curriculum was students plan their own gardens, and they did this in teams of 3.
It was also good because we were able to do it as a team and not just alone.
This really gave them the opportunity to show off everything they'd learned throughout the unit and sort of pulled everything together as they measured and planned out their garden with their teammates.
Each plant has something different that you can learn from it.
It was a great lesson because they worked together as a team to grid and plot and figure out which plants would work well together and what those plants needed.
I learned that it needs care. It needs nutrients.
Not only learn stuff, but also you get to have fun doing it.
This curriculum really helped me overcome my fear of teaching biology. I would recommend this curriculum to my colleagues or anyone who wanted to do exciting, fun curriculum that really teaches a lot. The looks on my students' faces, the excitement, that just really showed me how they became junior botanists as these weeks went by. Seeing them work together as well as they did, I love this curriculum and I think I would for sure use it again.